Hey everybody, so today I have here a Lenovo 515 Ideapad. It's nice, it's a 10th gen Intel. It's got a nice little sticker there. Pretty cool. And anytime you power it on, you'll see the keyboard light up, you'll see the power light up. See that? I don't know if you guys can see the keyboard light up. But it always just stays on the black screen. Always. See the light right there? And I did try it on an external. I'm still having the same problem. It just keeps booting to a black screen. It does look like it's on because the keyboard does light up, and obviously the light on the power button is actually lit up here. So it's really interesting. Let's see if there's some type of motherboard repair or something else going on. I guess we'll just open it up really and take a look. So let's get into it. All right, so I want to take this off. I already had the screws there. Let's go ahead and see if there's anything. We want to do first like a visual inspection to just see if there's anything very obvious, any liquid spills, any burn marks, anything at least we can see on the top part of the board here. So now what we want to do is, because we don't really notice anything very obvious there, take out the battery connection, or at least enough where it's gonna not power on, and we want to see if the fan's gonna spin. We want to see what's going on here, right? So let me go get the original charger. I'm plugging in without a battery, see if it makes any difference, see if we see at least the fan spin, see if it's actually turning on, see if the processor's getting warm, those type of things. So we do see a light there, which is good. That's your power light. And we do see that the fan is spinning and the processor is actually getting a little bit warm. I could feel that, but we still get a black screen. When we get a black screen, we can probably think it's probably a few things, right? Maybe there's a data issue going on with the board there. Maybe it's some type of video problem or something shorting it out. So the next thing we want to do, right, is since this is kind of the same thing, do we even get a backlight here? Yeah, so we do have a backlight actually. It's very faint. It's like purplish, you can kind of see. If you look really closely, I don't know if I could show it on camera, but yeah, you can see it's a little bit purple there. And probably when I take it off, it might just go totally black. But yeah, you see that? So it did go totally black when I take it out. So there is a display actually going on there. Now it seems like there's something not allowing the display to make a display, right? So the next thing we can try is because this could be, we want to eliminate that it's a screen problem, so we can actually disconnect the LCD cable, and also we want to disconnect maybe the CMOS battery to see if there's going to make any other difference there. And we'll try it on external, and we're not getting any type of display on my external, so I'm going to forget this over here. So the next thing what you want to do is you want to make sure that the board is the only problem and nothing else is giving it a problem, right? Because before we always dive into any type of board level repairs, we want to make sure that there is no other problems here. It's not the screen. That's at least a good thing because we don't want to worry about the screen. We can obviously check the hard drive, even though this is an SSD. They can still go bad. We definitely want to make sure we disconnect this, and we kind of want to work backwards, right? So let's disconnect this. I want to check to see if I can even find any data on here to make sure that this is an option. We always want to give a customer like an option, right? If they just want to get their data off or if they just want to fix the machine, we want to make sure at least the data is safe. So I don't see any connection problems here with it. There is a side USB here that actually connects, and that's where the CMOS connects to. But we just disconnected this. We can also disconnect this thing and see if it's going to go ahead and turn on. So the next thing, I guess we could just go one at a time. I guess the hard drive is one thing. So let's see if the hard drive is doing a lot of power that does go in powering on the LCD itself. And it's really interesting to see. So I'll have this on. Let's see. I have the CMOS disconnected. So let's give it a second here. See if it's gonna make any difference on the HDMI. Sometimes the HDMI isn't always the best thing. There are chances where you could just get an LCD screen. Okay, this reset it 2 times. I don't remember if it did that before, because I know the CMOS is out. Obviously, it's going to reset once or twice. But see, it's going to stop, and then it might go one more time. Yep, there goes one more time. It took a long time. It took a very long time. That's a different sign. I don't remember if it did it last time. Oh, there it goes. I was just about to pull it out. Okay, so it did come up on my external screen. Let me go ahead. I think we found our problem. I'm going to go plug it back into here, and I think it's just going to work. So let's go ahead and plug in our LCD again. Fan spawn once. Sometimes it takes some time, but our CMOS reset, it does take time, especially if you're building like a desktop or resetting RAM. Like sometimes for the first time, it's going to take, well, you see, now it came on. So it's showing no bootable device, which is great. Let's see if we can go at least to the BIOS there, and we got a BIOS here. All right, so it looks like that this is our problem, is we have an SSD problem here. So this type of drive is, it's not just a SATA drive, this is an NVMe drive. that we have, and so we can plug in any type of NVMe. We're gonna get a nice high quality one for them. All right, so we have here, this is a Samsung 980 Evo. It's very good. Put in a SATA drive, and you can also put an NVMe drive in here, and then you can also put in like a 2.5-inch drive there. I don't like this sitting on metal. This is more for the adapter. We probably shouldn't sit that actually on metal there. So let's go ahead and just take it out, and then we'll replace it. Manufacturer gives you one of those drives, type of drive. So let's go ahead and plug this in, and let's go plug in our back our CMOS. This is like nothing ever happened. Let's go ahead and close this up. Alright, so we have our Windows 11 installer we made. If you want to go check that out, how to make it, we have a video on that. I can also link it if I remember. But we'll go ahead and plug that in. And let's go ahead and make sure we can see the drive. Sometimes their storage device driver things just aren't seeing anything or whatever. Let's just make sure to go ahead and work. And just double check everything. So it's going to power on now. And we're going to hit right to our USB. I don't think we have to do anything because it's just going to boot right to the USB itself, unless it's going to be like, oh, you need secure boot or whatever. Well, this is a 10th gen, so it should just boot automatically to it. So it's going to take a little bit of time again because of the CMOS. So let's just wait it out, and we should get to the screens very shortly. So see it boot right to it, right to our drive. On these ones, sometimes there's like a button on the side there where we may need to boot. I don't know if this one has it. Yeah, there's a recovery boot. Here you can stick like a little pin in there. See that? It will have like the little arrow going down. That would be that if you're not able to boot to stay here or to boot to recovery mode. But since it doesn't recognize anything, that's the way it goes. And these installers don't come with drivers, so sometimes you might need a mouse, especially if it's a blank drive. So, all right, let's do that. I need to plug in a mouse, man. Install Windows. But I just want to make sure boot's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and install. Let's go ahead just to check to see that the drivers. Oops, I clicked that. Okay, so we do see that the drive is here, and we're gonna go ahead and install it, and then we'll be back once it's all done. I'll put this back together so you guys can just see the final outcome for it. And there you have it. We got Windows 11 on it. Take a, if you may, if you like Windows 11 or not. Either way, we got this up and running. Was completely dead. Now it is working. It looks like that this was the issue. This is the SSD drive, and we're gonna have to do some work on it. It is gonna need more of data recovery. It is getting warm. We need to locate the short, fix the drive itself, and extract the data. If you guys want to be on that, definitely leave a like. We'll go ahead and see what we can do with this drive and extract the data. Anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed watching this video, please leave a like. Really does help us a lot. Please subscribe for more content, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.